Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Cross-Check Your Budget lecture, where we are going to create some habits for success. So let's take a look at our lecture goals and just make sure we're staying on track for this lecture. First of all, we're going to be setting up a budget evaluation schedule. And secondly, we are going to create daily habits for success. So let's take a look at when to evaluate your budget. You really have to think about your budget on a monthly time frame. You can't look at this budget and say, I'm going to look at what I need every 2 weeks because that's how often I get paid. No, we know that we pay our bills on a monthly basis. Everything that we pay out, we usually are only required to make a payment once a month. So we need to look at our budget that way, once a month, even though we get paid multiple times a month a lot of times. So every budget is going to look different each month. So we need to make sure we're reviewing our budget every month. So that means we need to take our bills, our debt, our income, and we need to look at the amount that's required for that month and what the actual due date is. Some of those due dates will stay the same, some won't. And we need to plug all that information into our monthly budget again. So every month we need to make sure we're doing this, and I'd recommend doing it towards the end of every month for the coming month, basically. And once we have all that information into our monthly budget, you're going to balance your budget like normal. So if you need to make some adjustments because this month my electric bill is higher than it was last month, so that means I need to compensate somewhere else, you need to do that at the end of after you've plugged everything in. You need to balance your budget. So another way to keep on budget is to evaluate through daily habits. So checking on your banking activity daily will allow you to adjust if you need to with a much quicker reaction time than if you just did it once a month, which is often when it's too late. What do I mean by checking your banking activity? Well, there are basically two things you want to check for in your, to keep on budget in your banking. First of all, you need to verify that bills that are processed are not over budget and that they actually processed. So if we know today I'm supposed to have my electric bill and my rent come out, then I need to check my bank account and make sure that it actually processed and came out and that it's for the amount that I expected. The other thing you want to check for is to verify that no transactions actually processed that are not accounted for in your budget. So sometimes something will pop in there that you weren't expecting or that you didn't realize was on an auto payment, and it's throwing your budget off now. You need to make sure that basically take account of anything that was not accounted for in your budget, or if there's any discrepancies. That's what these two things are. And then you want to balance your budget as you go to avoid a broken budget. So if either one of these situations happen where, an amount was higher than you expected for electric or whatever, or you didn't even realize that payment was going to be coming out of your account, and now, you basically have a discrepancy between what's actually happening in your budget, and it's a discrepancy that's going to cost you. You're not going to have enough income to compensate for the expenses you now have in your budget. So you need to evaluate your budget as you go and make changes to compensate for these. So if you need to start pulling and saying, I'm not going to take as much in personal, my personal budget this time, or I'm going to cut back on food, or whatever it is, you need to do that as you go to compensate, or you need to determine if there's something else you can do to earn some extra income. So let's take a look at our lecture goals, just make sure we actually completed those goals for this lecture. First, they were setting up a budget evaluation schedule. Yep, we're definitely going to be doing that at least once a month, preferably at the end of the month of the prior month that is coming. So on, say, the 28th of the month, you're going to set your budget for the coming up month. And we definitely completed that. In creating daily habits for success, we definitely did that. We determined that we need to evaluate our bank account every day and make adjustments in our budget as we need to. So coming up, we're going to look at our actual versus budget and how to overcome that broken budget. So yes, we need to compensate and do things like that, but I'm going to show you some of their skills and things that will help you overcome that broken budget versus what I just told you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this course, and I will see you in our next lecture.